running from the cops on my motorcycle. When I was young, I went to North Ogden Junior High, and there's this boy named Kent. And all I could think about was riding motorcycles. I absolutely loved riding motorcycles, going hiking. I think it got me away from the pain at home. But anyway, I loved to ride motorcycles. And this guy down the road from me, he was an older guy, maybe in his 20s, and I was probably 14 at the time. I was in 8th grade, I believe. Anyway, I talked him in. His name was Ken. I talked him into letting me take his Yamaha 360 one night. Hey, can I take it? I'll take good care of it, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, so he says, yeah, you can take it on Friday. And so me and Brett, we were going to go. He's going to get a motorcycle, but he never did get one. I got that one. I'm like, oh, I want to go. I told my parents I was going to go camping that night, but they didn't know I was going to drive the motorcycle because I didn't have my license. And they didn't know Ken was borrowing it, so I got it. And I thought, well, Brett decided not to go because he never got a motorcycle. So I went down to Kent's house, and on the way down there, I saw a cop, so I drove off over where Fruitland meets Mountain Road, and I tipped the motorcycle over and it revved way up because I was nervous, and I tipped over because I saw this cop. Anyway, anyway, I turned off the motorcycle, and then I went down to Kent's house. I walked down there. I pushed the motorcycle down there because I didn't know what was wrong with it. He didn't know what was wrong with it, so I took his motorcycle, and I was going to try to ride. I don't know. I was on his motorcycle for some reason, but I loved riding motorcycles out. Loved it. I loved skiing and riding motorcycles. That was the best. Skiing was the best. Riding motorcycles was the second best, but they were pretty close. Anyway, a cop gave me a ticket, and I had to go work off some hours and things like that. But anyway, eventually my dad got me a motorcycle because I got my Eagle Scout. He says, I'll get you a motorcycle if you get your Eagle Scout. And I got my Eagle Scout. And once again, my friend told me, you're not going to get your Eagle Scout. I'm like, bull crap. So I got my Eagle Scout, and my dad got me this motorcycle, and my friend was the first guy I took on a ride because I proved to myself that I got my Eagle Scout and I can do things that people say I can't do. Anyway, I took him on a ride, but my dad says, now don't you be riding that motorcycle on the road. And I'm like, okay. So I pushed the motorcycle all the way up to the canal. Oh, that lasted about a week. So finally I'd start the motorcycle and I'd walk by the side of it going up to the canal from 3100. So that was okay. That was a lot better than pushing the motorcycle. Then I decided I'm just going to stand on one. I'm pushing the motorcycle with it started. I thought I'm just going to step on one side of the motorcycle foot peg with my right foot on the left side so that if I see a cop, I can jump off and be walking it, right? Anyway, and that lasted for about a week or so. And pretty soon I just jumped on the motorcycle and hauled my butt up to the man, I remember hauling my butt up to the canal and hoping that there wasn't any cops and taking different routes to get up there. But anyway, there was a few times that I was up there, a couple times, but one time in particular, I could see the police officer down below following me to see where I was going because he wanted to give me a ticket. And I was driving along the canal. I think I was going west. Anyway, so I see this cop following me down from below. I'm like, that sucker's going to give me another ticket. I do not want to get another ticket. I'm up here riding. I mean, he's waiting for me to ride on the road is what he's doing. And I'm not gonna ride on the road. I'm up here above. I can just walk it down. I can coast it and walk it down to my house. Anyway, I'm riding along the canal, and he's keeping an eye on me. He's wanting to give me a ticket. So anyway, as I'm driving along the canal, there's a big dip that goes down like that. So that cop and I are just moving right along like this. And as I go down the dip, he keeps going. As I got down to the bottom of the dip, I turned around and shot out the other way. Anyway, when I shot out the other way, I lost him. So anyway, so on the way down, I'm thinking, I know he's still out here looking for me. So I walked the motorcycle down. I think it was turned off, and I walked it down the hill. And as I crossed 3100, there was that cop, and he was looking at me. But I was walking my motorcycle, so he couldn't do a darn thing.